Can you believe this? Hello and welcome to the Gamers Table. It has been a while. We actually have a studio again. Emily, I don't think was ever on the Gamers Table before, and you've never seen one of these.
No, I just usually show up and eat snacks.
Yeah, no, but you've never seen the D&D boxes.
No, I haven't.
So this is number 6 in them. The other 5 are over there. This is a D&D based board game. But the difference is that you all play together and the game runs itself. It's a really great AI that they developed a long time ago. WizKids took it over and made some amazing changes, basically made the system a whole bunch better. The big thing in this one, you can now go to level 4. And there are people out there going, oh my God! Because for 5 games, level 2 is as high as you could get.
So similar to Arkham Horror, but...
No.
No?
No. Because the entire map is generated as you go.
Oh, that's cool.
Through tiles. But yeah, see, this is brand new. I just bought this today.
Yeah.
And this box is right full. I'm not doing this on purpose.
No.
It was just vacuum. So, literature.
Bunch of funky people.
It's showing me all the miniatures we got. That I will crack open anyways. Unpainted. They also have 2 options now. You can choose the regular edition in Canada it was around about $80 that are just your standard minis, or you can pay, I think it was $129, and all the minis are painted for you already. But as you know,
Where's the fun in that?
I paint the minis myself, so these, the ones in blue are always the heroes. And they've added something new. Instead of having it embossed on the bottom of the characters, they're actually printing in white on the bottom of the characters what they are, which is a little easier to read. The obligatory D20.
A lot of little critters.
Ooh, these are tiny things.
It is your intellect devourer, apparently.
Yeah, it looks like floating brain. And there's some sort of troglodyte. I could just look on the bottom of them.
Grung.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it says.
That's little critters.
Oh, this is one of the Ella the spirit swords or something like that. So you'd use the same minis, but you have different cards for them. So here's some of the higher level, sort of like end boss type figures. Ooh. That's the boss level of those flying swords, because there's many of them. Yeah. Death Tyrant. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be fun to paint. It's a giant flaming skull. There's a evil beholder. 2 evil beholders. So there's more ghosty toastlies. Yep. Hags. Generally, there are the smaller monsters. There are usually 3 of each one, and there are 3 cards in there. If I have a card that's a hag in front of me, and Emily has a card hag in front of her, when I activate, it activates all of the monsters on the board that are hag, and then on her turn, it would also mess all the monsters on the board that were hag. So you don't want them doubled up. You can't double them up yourself. You'll only ever have 1 hag card in front of you, but you can't have all 3 of them out at once. So you need to kill one at least, so you're not. And what you do, you're killing. Okay, I'm killing the one you're controlling. So when it gets to your turn, we're not going to face any more monsters. Yeah. The game is always based on play to your bonus whenever you can, because the game is hard. So it's like when you're repositioning. When a monster comes out adjacent to you, you can choose where adjacent. I can put it adjacent here, but if I put it adjacent here, 3 of us are around it, I can put it adjacent there, because
one of us can kill it.
Yeah. So that's the sort of thing you want to think about. The game allows you to take as many breaks within the rules as possible for yourself, because, as I said, it's a hard game. As co-op games always are. Co-op game is always more difficult than a competitive game. So yeah, would you? I told you not to have that second drink before you came on set. So there are all the figures that you get with this particular set. There are tiles. I will show you the tiles in a minute when I get to them. You take turns going around the board, and you either explore a tile, which is places a new tile, which could end up with monsters, etc., or you don't, in which case you draw one of the cards that are things that happen. So, and there's different decks. There's an adventure deck. So these are the ones that the characters will get. This is the sorcerer cards. So they're all things that the sorcerer can do. Chain lightning, control winds, and whirlwind. Oh, those are expert powers. That's for level 3, level 4. Where's some of his at wills? Thunderclap is an at will, which is attack each monster on your tile. And it's a +6 to your attack. Only 1 damage though, but that sort of thing. And then there's the treasure ones that you pick up every time you kill a monster. Nope. Every time you kill at least a monster on your turn. If you kill 5 monsters on your turn, you don't get 5 treasure cards. You still only get 1. But there are all sorts of different things. They can be gold. This particular one is a potion of healing. Those come in handy. You run out of heal. Oh man, I'm always playing the healer in these games because everybody dies. So here's the monster deck, and here's the brilliance of this. So any monster on the board, if you're the one that draws the monster, this card goes in front of you. And on your turn, all of the monster cards that are in front of you activate in order that you have them. Do not change the order. They activate in that order. So this particular one is, if the shadow is within 1 tile of a hero, if he's within 1 tile, you move him. If he's not, you skip down to the next step. And then otherwise, the shadow moves 1 tile closer. So all of the monsters are AI driven like that. So no one runs the monsters run themselves. And if you kill that monster, you take that card and it goes into a pile, and you see this monster was worth 2 experience. When you're drawing event cards, etc., a lot of times you can choose to cancel them with 5 experience points worth. So the more monsters you have, the more experience points you have to cancel bad things. Like one where, say, one of your characters is at 1 hit point, and you draw something that does 2 points of damage to everyone, no matter where they are. You got to cancel that. Otherwise, you're going to lose a character, possibly have to do a healing surge, or maybe lose the game.
More monsters.
Yeah, there's many, many monsters. There's sequence of play. There's 1 card for everybody, and it has all the phases, and then the details of the phases on the back, so everybody knows what's going on. The Elder Runes, these are new for this particular one. And then there's encounters. Such like this particular one, your hero, you draw it, your hero gains stunned. And there are no saving throws. This is not the full D&D because it's a board game. So basically, stunned would mean you take a particular, if they have tokens that show you what it does and it tells you the condition, and at the end of your next turn you discard the condition. And then there are traps that can be anywhere. Like this one is Dizzying Ray. Trigger trap during your villain phase. That's part of your thing. So if this trap is in front of you, every time you hit your villain phase, you'll do that again. So a lot of times it's really important to get rid of the traps. Most of them can be disabled by somebody attempting a roll. Obviously a rogue's going to have a better roll on that. It's all based on D&D, so it's going to be familiar. And then there's different more of the cleric, etc. There's more of the cards for them. That's all the cards. Now I'm pulling the insert out because underneath
is the board.
No, these are here. Take this.
Oh, okay.
So these are all tiles of all the different things you punch out. So you were asking about this too. These are all. There's about 40 or 50 of these. They're all map tiles, and each dungeon will say, okay, you take so many tiles, count them off, put this tile this place, and then shuffle the rest. And you just draw random tiles and start putting them out on the board, whatever side you choose when you're doing it. Or I'm going to explore this edge, so I put one there. Or I'm going to explore that edge, I put one there. But eventually the tile that's going to trigger the next phase of the game comes up. And that's how the game is a different map every time. And you're not drawing the map. You don't see it until you actually explore it.
You don't know what you're getting, essentially.
Yeah. And all the other chits are on here, too.
You got gold, you got
Oh, and a question. One of my few faithful, loyal viewers who's still around after all this time. What happened was, a year ago, I started getting chest pains, went to the hospital, and it was gallbladder. And long story short, I eventually had to have the gallbladder out. But before I did, the one thing the doctor said was low-fat diet, so I changed my diet, hence a lot less of me than before. But yeah, I did end up having to have it out. And so everything's fine now, but I'm a lot thinner, and I really can't complain about that. there's one, like I said, this is weakened, and it gives you what the condition is. So while that condition is on you, this effect happens. These are hit points for the monsters. You put them around the base so you know that monster. I hit it, but it's not dead. These are traps, and you keep them all face down, and whenever you get a trap, you flip it over, and sometimes it's a trap, sometimes it's not. And as Emily said, there's the gold, there's your hit points. And I'll pop one of these out. So all of the tiles are puzzle pieces. So they interlock each other. And the symbols on them, this symbol is where the monster goes. And this symbol is something else. Or other way around. I haven't looked in the book to see which one it is. So when it's all artwork and all the back, all of them that just say dungeon tiles, so you have no idea what's coming up. And there are many, many, many different tiles. Okay, these things that you're seeing here, they're what allow the campaign to run better. Because after every dungeon you explore, you can do unlimited city actions. You can take the money and experience you got and buy these things. This particular one costs 700 gold, and it gets +2 to attack. And then you put that with your character when you wrap it up, and the next time you play, your character has +2 attack for all the rest of them. So you're actually upgrading your characters, but not leveling up. But you can level up as well. Recharge, this one is awesome. What Recharge does is, I've used one of my daily or my utility powers that I have to flip over is no good. I can play my Recharge, flip it over, and use it again. Now, when you're a healer and you use up your healing spell that's a utility power and can flip it over and do it again in the same adventure, that's friggin' bonus. And you don't lose these. You use it once you're this adventure, flip it over. Next adventure, you can use it again because you've already bought it. It doesn't go away. So here's your character cards showing you what you have to start, what starting powers you take. And on the second side is level 2. Aha! The level 3, level 4 tokens. Okay, so you get no change to your AC, 2 hit points, no change to your speed, 1 plus your hit point value, 1 class utility power, 1 class expert power. That's the new ones that I said in there in the cards. There are experts, and they're based on class. They're wizard, 3 expert. So they're not just for this game. Any one of the 6 games, you can now go to level 3 and 4 if you've bought this one and have those particular cards and tiles. That is very cool, because they always said you can mix and match these games and use the heroes and stuff and the monsters from any one if you want to. So what we do when we're going to play on a whole thing, and Ken and Chris and I actually played the last one, Temple of Elemental Evil, this way. Had access to all the powers and all the characters from all 4. At that point, there were 4 games. So I took a cleric. All my powers were healing powers because I could pick and choose all the ones. And Chris took like a fighter, and he had the best fighter powers of all of them. It didn't make it easy, but it made it better than like the 6 or 7 cards they give you in one single box.
Maybe easier.
Yes.
Or more customizable.
Yes. And so these double ones here, this particular one,
Entry well.
Yeah, since it says right on it, entry well. So you will put that down at the start. It's a double, and everybody who's playing puts their hero anywhere on here that they want to start. So don't be not thinking and start, I'll start back here, because the first thing you're going to do, okay, you got to move forward. Well, now you're just wasting 1-2 movement just to move forward, right? So even though there's room back there, start up front. It helps your game. And so if you're playing and I choose to move there to an unexplored edge, that means I would get to explore. So I would draw the top tile off the stack and put it with the arrow pointing towards me. That's always how you align them. If it's a black arrow, you draw a card. If it's a white arrow, you just do the other stuff. And because there's the monster on here, you would spawn a monster, which is draw the top monster off the thing and take that monster figure and put it on the place there. If somebody dies and there is no healing surges left, you lose. It doesn't matter if the rest of you are still going on. Nope, you lost. Everybody has to survive. Or you get to the final boss and you beat it. Every time you successfully complete it, it'll say, if you have 2 healing surges left, take these cards out, put these harder cards in. If you have this, and it's exchange it, making your deck harder every time. Like I said, the monsters upgrade. The swords upgrade from flying swords to flaming flying swords to phantasm swords. And things get tougher as they go. And because you're buying stuff and you're building up, you're getting tougher as well. So it scales everything with you. One more thing. Once you've punched all this stuff out, don't throw these away. Take these, put them back in the box, because this insert, I will show you. Here's the box bottom. If you just put the insert back in,
It falls in.
it goes in, and there's that much space towards the top of the box. You put all your stuff in, you tilt your box up like that, everything dumps out. If you put these empty sprues back in, that will end up back there, and this will come flush with the top. None of your pieces will fall out.
As long as
I'm telling you,
sideways.
yeah. You know, even if you turn it sideways, because this is up against the top of the box, so nothing
okay.
falls
When
out.
you travel, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, if it's open and you put it sideways, you're dumping everything up. But why did you do that? Okay, just a little follow. You'll notice we're changed outfits just to follow up on
Because it's a different day.
Yeah. What did you think about it?
First of all, we didn't die, which is awesome.
Oh no, we both died
Well,
once.
we
We
didn't
didn't
die.
fail the adventure.
Yeah. We didn't permanently die. We just temporarily died.
If anybody died again, we would have failed.
Yeah, that would have been yikes. I think it's awesome. Like, it's nice that it's self-generating and, yeah, like appropriate challenge level, I would say. Yeah.
And there were only 2 of us, so they're based, can play up to 5 players. So it was more challenging. We had a bad streak of luck right at the start. In this first adventure, what you're supposed to do is find the crooks in the dungeon that are terrorizing people. And to do that,
You have to get to 5 points.
you get 5 experience points, and then you spend that to find one of the crooks, and then he comes into the dungeon. You still have to beat him, but that's how it works. We got our first 5, and before we had a chance for one of us to do it, the next event wiped out the 5 experience that we had, and we had to start over.
Yeah, 'cause I think we had to, like, cancel, like, a bad area effect or something.
Something came up,
yeah.
and we had to lose the 5 points right away. And then we got a couple treasures. That's what it was. And we also got nailed with an environment that no items were in the treasures.
Yeah, because you could only get money, essentially.
So for like 3/4, we're throwing away fireballs, ring of this,
health
wand of that.
potion,
So many health potions. So it was a little tougher, but still we managed to do it, and we're going to keep playing through the campaign. But definitely, yeah, I spent a day doing a little
painting
bit of
all
painting.
the pretty, yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So we have been playing through it. The only real big addition is the level 3, level 4. Now, I'll point out one thing that they've done that I think is really bad. Also, do check online for addendum. There's errata. There's a lot of things that slightly wrong in the printing on this. Anyway, the level 3 and level 4 are for Rogue, which is in 5 of the 6 boxes. Great. So
Not this one.
No, Rogue is in this one.
Oh, okay.
It is for Paladin, which is in 3 of the boxes. That's great. It's for Fighter, which is in 5 of the boxes. That's great. It is for Cleric, which is in 4 or 5 of the boxes. Like, it's these coven characters. All, and the magic user is Sorcerer, who's only in this box. Every other box has a wizard. What the hell do you mean Sorcerer? Sorcerer is not D&D. It's Wizard. You shafted the magic-using characters by being able to level 3 and 4. All the other main characters can. That, I think, is a really big mistake on their part, and they probably should have said Wizard, not Sorcerer. So, that is the new Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage game. New bonuses allow characters go up to level 4. Other than that, it's the same thing. WizKids took this over. They made some great changes. They made it a lot better. So, if you're interested in this, pick it up. It plays 1 to 5 player. It is co-op. You don't need a DM. There's not going to be any, why did you hit me? It's going to be fun joining together, but they're not easy. You're going to have to play smart. Don't split the party. Do all the things you know in D&D. Don't split the party. Make sure your healer's got healing spells. Don't get greedy and I'm going to kill all the monsters, and just play like you would play, right? So that's it, and thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll be back doing more of the Gamers Table stuff.